I'm here with Senior Ballistician Jaden Quinlan, and we're talking 2024 new products. Jaden, we have a brand new bullet this year, the ELD-VT bullet, a dual-purpose bullet for long-range target shooting and long-range varmint hunting. Now, for that varmint hunting world, when you compare it to our already popular VMAX bullets, where would you choose the VT over the VMAX?
Well, if you're operating with one of the more modern cartridge designs, a 6-arc, a 22-arc, a 6.5 Creedmoor, a 6 Creedmoor, those designs are really unlimited in the bullets that they can use, and that's where the ELD-VT really finds its home. And the reason that that bullet line is just coming out now is because we needed the cartridges that could support it. If you came out with the ELD-VT design or bullet line 10, 20, 30 years ago, you wouldn't have had any cartridges that it would have been applicable in a mass format. The hand loader, the wildcatter, the custom guy, he can always do what he needs to be able to use a certain bullet. But the average guy out there that just wants to be able to buy a rifle off the shelf and some factory ammo and get great performance, he would have been limited in that way. Okay. So if it's a legacy cartridge, then the VMAX line is still the legacy option. It's the go-to. It's as good as it gets in those style of cartridges that were designed long ago before we knew all these benefits. So the ELD-VT really finds its home in these more modern cartridges that you've seen come out.
Yeah, with longer overall lengths, longer head height, and then the proper twist rate to stabilize them. So for the shooter out there trying to decide between VMAX or the new ELD-VT, if you're shooting a traditional cartridge with a standard SAMI twist rate, the VMAX is probably your go-to. Also, if your trajectory and how flat shooting it is priority number one, those VMAX bullets have that shorter overall length, typically lighter weight, so you'll get a little bit more muzzle velocity out of those options. So perhaps that might be a better time to choose the VMAX over the VT.
That's right. And, just a simple comparison, some guys might say, well, it's a 62 grain bullet. I can shoot 62 grain bullets out of my 223 or my 5.56. Not this one, you can't. It won't fit within your magazine length. The twist rate in a factory 223 Remington will not stabilize this bullet. So there are some limitations there. Although you might assume, it's not that much different than anything else out there.
Doesn't sound very heavy.
Yeah, you really have to see it to see the difference, for lack of better terms. But when you hold those two bullets up side by side, any of the traditional 60 or 50 grain bullet class offerings versus that 62 ELD-VT, you're like, okay, I see the difference now, and I understand why those limitations exist and why it can't be used in some of those legacy cartridges.
Absolutely, and that's really across the whole line of VT bullets. When you hear some of our options like an 80 grain 6mm or the 100 grain 6.5, they don't sound that heavy for caliber because they're not. But they're quite light for length. These bullets are incredibly long, and that's how you get the aerodynamic efficiency out of them. But we help keep the weight down to increase the muzzle velocity potential.
That's right. So the guy listening and hears, a 6mm 80 grain, I can shoot that out of my 243. I can go all the way up to a 100 grain bullet in my 243. Not this one. You don't want to do it with a factory. You'd have to have a factory rifle and barrel. You would need a faster twist barrel. And all the way on up, you're exactly right. You need those faster twist rates of the modern cartridges.
Awesome. Well, the new ELD-VT bullet, the perfect dual-purpose bullet for long-range target shooting and varmint hunting. For more information on this bullet and all 2024 new products, check them out at Hornady.com.